got involved with Dear White People because the person that was slated to run the show had some kind of conflict by the time the show got picked up. And so they were in search of a new showrunner. And before they shot the pilot, plus 9 episodes. And it was for Netflix, so they were going to make 10. It was kind of a straight-to-series situation. And I had a breakfast meeting with Justin Simeon, who told me, like, you were my first choice, but you weren't available. You were on Blackish. I was like, well, look at serendipity. Here we are. And we had a really wonderful conversation about some of the ideas that he had laid out in the Bible and some of the things that he wanted to do. And me being me, little Yellow Truth, now grown Yellow Truth, asked him some hard questions about some of the things he wanted to do. And I think the details of which are not that important, but, you know, there was a tonal shift that he wanted to make at some point in this season. And the specifics of which he wasn't really sure he wanted to do, and I could tell he wasn't sure. And I was like, you shouldn't do it that way. We can find another way. We can find another way to give you what you're looking for. And in fact, that became episode 5, where Reggie had a gun pulled on him at a campus party. But he had Justin had something else in mind. And I was bold enough in that first meeting to say, I don't think you should do what you're planning to do, and trust that we can do something else. And I thought, you know, he might not want me to come in and work with him, because I was bold enough to say that what he had on paper wasn't what I thought was the best choice, the best move. But we worked together incredibly well, incredibly well. He was really open to collaborating, and I think we hired a terrific staff, and I think that cast, so young, so talented, it's just a group of stars, just amazing, amazing. And they did powerful work. And that episode was, you know, directed by Barry Jenkins, and it was daring, even more daring than I think some of the other shows I'd done that had dealt with serious plots. So much so that we had to shut down production for about an hour, hour and a half after shooting the scene where Reggie gets that gun pulled on him. We were all impacted by it because it was just so real. It was just so real and so terrifying. But we felt like a responsibility to depict that reality. You know, we did our research. You know, we certainly were asked questions like, do campus cops have guns? Yes. We wouldn't have put it in front of you if it was fictitious, you know? I mean, it always has to be true. For me, it has to be true. It could happen. It may not seem like it happens easily, whatever that, you know, moment is or that twist, but it has to be true. And it was so real. I mean, the actor who played Reggie, Marquis Richardson, he got a comfort dog. He got a support animal after that, because it was very, very real. And we were just broken down, sobbing uncontrollably, and just feeling it for, you know, our fellow man. You know, how unfortunate that you could just be living your best life, just being black and free, and that being, like, in and of itself an act of revolution. And you're now at a party with a gun in your face, being asked for your ID, being asked for your papers. Whew. Yeah. It was intense. It was intense. And that was a moment I remember in the room when someone suggested that he be asked for his ID, and it's just like my blood ran cold, like he was being asked for his papers, like he was a slave. And I'm like, we can't do that. And then I was just like, no, this is that moment where it scares and excites me in equal doses. We have to do it. We have to do it. And that would happen. That absolutely would happen. Because that cop doesn't believe that that black man should be here. How dare he be here in this ivory tower, in this, you know, bastion of higher education? How dare he be there being his free black self? But you can be there And then you could not be there just that fast. That's the reality that we live with. And unfortunately, that show, as wonderful as it was, its ratings were okay, but they went up 300% after the tragic death of George Floyd in the summer of 2020. It took that for people on their own to go find the show and looking for answers. They're not going to find all the answers there. But, it tells you something about our society for sure. It tells you the power of the medium. It tells you that people look to the medium for information, for answers, for understanding. So I'm really fortunate to be in a position to provide some modicum of understanding for those who don't live the same existence that I live with my family and my friends.